Hello. Um, I want to talk today about burnout and about my social lack of energy, let's say. What happens when I lack the social energy for conversations, for being around people, and what I do to recharge, let's say. Um, First of all, I want to mention the light. That is, of course, the light in this video is not going to be that great, and it's really sunny outside, as you can see, and I have to make sure that I'm more or less framed in front of the window, or the people watching the video are going to be blinded. Um, I tried making it better. This is the best I could do, but there you go. So I want to talk about today about a little bit um, the social burnout. That is what makes it. What causes it, at least to me. And I've watched a few videos of other people, and it seems to happen to all of us, or at least to people with Asperger's, and at least on the spectrum. And the way some of them recharge is a bit awkward, a bit weird to me. It doesn't really make sense to me. It's completely the opposite. What I'm going to mention that. Um, First is because this is the first week of college. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to buy. Food. I have to go out to buy my stuff for college. I don't have any food here because I've been out for 3 months, of course. So there's a lot to do, to buy and to stack back to my room. Um, and all of this requires energy and requires to be around noise and around people and crowds and light and sound, and it really bothers me. And because this is the first week of college, um, at least for me, some people have started 2 or 3 weeks prior. Um, there's in the first weeks of college, it's usual to have a big party, almost to welcome the new people that are entering college, to make them aware of what college is, the college culture, let's say, the parties, the people. It's a form of gathering so that people can know each other. I don't know if that happens in other universities or not, but here it happens. Um, and that's absolutely fine, that's good. But because again, it's the first week and you have to um, do a lot of things back to buy to go back to normal. And because everyone is partying, uh, it's a mess. It's noisy outside. It's a lot of light. It's a lot of crowd. It's people. And all of that drain me a lot. Um, so one of the things that happens when my social energy runs out, and I've noticed this in the first week more that I've noticed when I was in holidays, of course. While on holidays, I get to control the times I go out, with whom, with how many people I am. I live in a kind of a small city, so large gatherings are not very common. um, but here the city is a lot bigger, with a lot more people. Um, and what happens to me, for example, in class, um, the amount of noise and the amount of people, really, they take away my energy for focusing on the class, for example. They take away my energy to read at home or to study or to pay attention. And one of the things that I start to notice when my social energy is starting to run out, um, is um, is very interesting because it's one of the symptoms of ADHD, actually, that in the diagnosis, um, it appeared that is almost as if you have an internal engine that is constantly working and makes you have to work or to think or to act in a certain speed, let's say, and it's hard to control. Um, to me, I haven't taken my meds of ADHD today, um, and I notice a really big difference. Like my thinking is not as accurate as it usually is when I'm with the meds. You can't see under the table, but my feet are like this, going up and down. Like there's the internal engine that I'm talking about, of the physical activity of not being able to sit still, like this energy that you can't really control that makes you like fidget, which may be a sign of autism as well, or the walking around the room, being more active. Um, and even, but one of the consequences of the social lack of energy is because to me, being around other people is more of a cognitive effort than it is an intuitive task. I have to constantly be reminding myself when someone asks you something, ask them something back, which is for some people, I bet for most people, is intuitive. Like if someone asks you, from which country are you? And I say Portugal, I usually forget to ask the other person from which country they are because I don't find it interesting. I don't really care. I mean, I want to know their name, and even then, I probably forget it almost immediately, unless that person is someone that I'm going to have to spend a lot of time with in some project, or if they live in the same house as I do. Otherwise, I just don't care, and I often forget to be almost what could be considered polite, because if someone asks you a question, it's usually polite to ask them the same question back so that they feel heard and all of that. And I noticed that when I'm with lack of energy, that really, like, this small, that to me are details, to other people it's just common, to me are details, they don't happen anymore. And the I get silent a lot quicker. My eye contact drops. I go into I don't talk basically with anyone because I'm tired. I don't want to engage in conversation. There is a guy on YouTube that his way of recharging is by being around other people, and I find that weird. The way he recharges is by listening to conversation from other people, but not really engaging. So he likes to be seated on a table with people around him talking, but without he himself talking. So listening to people is the way he recharges, which is weird to me. To me, that wouldn't work at all. With me, that wouldn't work. Um, so the amount of people, the amount of noise, the amount of light, the amount of movement and confusion really bother me. And because it's the first week, and with all the parties, and with me having to go out to buy stuff and to get ready again for college, um, like it the first week can be painful, can be exhaustive in a way that is, to me, like intellectually exhaustive, because again, it's not intuitive to me to be around, to act, because it is an act, which I was happy to know that it's common with people with Asperger's syndrome. It's called masking. That is almost, as the term implies, to put on a mask of pretending that you have social skills that you don't really have, um, or to pretend that you care about topics that you don't really care, that you try to pass as normal when you're not. Um, and again, this is an effort and a half, especially when when you are in a class with like 50 people, and you are like in one of the back rows, as I like to be, um, and everyone in front of you is like talking at the same time and moving and going around, and with sometimes even with the computers, with the sound of keyboards typing, of the fingers typing on the keyboard. It's so annoying. You have like 10 people doing that, and they are all like So yeah, I'm not even sure what I'm talking about anymore. It's just I've been noticing that in the first week it's really complicated, and I don't know. Maybe this is a video that other people will relate to, or maybe not. But I've related to many videos of people with Asperger syndrome and with this lack of social energy that I have, reporting the same thing, and I wanted to make one of my own because the first week I noticed this of being more tired, of not being so with the patience for other people. My way of relaxing is just going into a room with dim light, like my room, like kind of closing things. I don't want to be completely in the dark, at least unless it's night and I don't have a choice. With dim light and with low music for like 30 minutes. And that helps me recharge and helps me like go back to to normal, more or less, and to be more polite around other people, when my battery is better recharged. So yeah, as you can see, when I don't take the meds, my line of thinking kind of goes haywire, and I'm not completely. Maybe I'm out of practice. Maybe I've gone too too fond of my medicine. But yeah, I can see a reduction in cognitive ability when I don't take them. And well, after 12 minutes of video, I guess it's enough. So this is how I act when my social energy is down, and this is what I do when I want to recharge it.